morning, Spacetime Badass here. I just want to take this time out that I should be using to sleep. I want to take that time out to make a video for you guys. Um, so tonight I want to talk about the various approaches to lucid dreaming and why I choose the approach that I do choose most of the time. There are basically three categories that I kind of lump everything into, and I want you to bear in mind that not everyone uses the same approach every single time. We all have our own unique takes on lucid dreaming, um, and our own unique experiences and desires with lucid dreaming. So I'm just going to kind of lump things into categories, but I'll leave it open that you can, pick and choose from each little bag if you should want, if that makes sense. Um, so I favor one aspect of lucid dreaming over the others, so that's what I'm focusing on, but from time to time I'll go in and I'll do a little of this, a little of that, whatever, just for leisure so that I can keep it fresh and so that I don't be, feel like stuck in a pattern, so that I can get the full spectrum of experience with lucid dreaming and then bring information back to help everyone else no matter what their approach is. I'm not saying one approach is better than another. And yeah, the basic introductory. I'm really tired, can you tell? So the three basic approaches to lucid dreaming, and a little bit on why I choose the one that I choose and why I'd like to see more people going in that direction. The first one is sort of novelty. You're interested in lucid dreaming, you want to see if you can do it, you want to get one or two experiences out of lucid dreaming, see how it goes, kind of thing. This is kind of like the introductory mindset to lucid dreaming most of the time. This is one of the bigger categories. You see a lot of people out there wanting to learn how to lucid dream, and usually it's for these superficial reasons. They want to fly, or they want to get something, a certain situation. They want to interact with certain people, have just like usually like a very specific experience that once they get it fulfilled, most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, they're done with lucid dreaming. You see a lot of it with the people who are wanting to lucid dream in their teenage years. There's a lot of stuff going around on the internet about them wanting to get a sexual experience before they've experienced that in waking life. But that's not all of those people. Plenty of people have plenty of experiences that they want to get through and can't for whatever reason in waking life. So it's the kind of basic thing. That's I think that's probably the biggest category of people in lucid dreaming, is just this constantly melting pot of people wanting to learn how to lucid dream for these specific reasons. So most of the time you see this, not a lot of people are going to stick with it. And then from that point on, those who do stick with it are mainly lumped into the bigger category of established lucid dreamers who favor control. So control is the next one. And you'll notice that they're kind of like stepping stones, but a lot of people get hung up between the second and third step there. But so lucid dreaming for control is a completely other approach. And again, this is like mostly people who have just made it past that initial stage, and they're like, what can I do with lucid dreaming? I want to be able to control all of these aspects. So it's a little more refined, a little more in-depth, requiring more focus and attention, but it's still largely superficial in my personal opinion. Now granted, you can get fun out of it, and I do from time to time as well. I'll go in and I'll just be like, I'm going to control some stuff. It's going to be fun, and it's a good time. But within this category, there is this idea of like the holy grail of lucid dreaming, which is like total control, which it's kind of convoluted. So in this idea of the holy grail is that you are entering a dream world that is like completely of your own conscious effort to create and maintain. So what does that look like? So we'll imagine like the Matrix. Neo goes in for the first time. He's loaded into the blank program, and he's like surrounded by white. So you'll just basically imagining a three-dimensional space blank canvas to put whatever you would want in it. I'm not saying this is the process that you would use for it, but for instance, you would just be like, I want, this setting that you would plan and you would create. So for instance, if this setting that I'm in right now were my own conscious creation, and everything that I wanted to be in here was in here because I consciously created it, which is not really completely possible. I mean, you could set out and try to plan every detail, but your mind's going to fill in all of the gaps subconsciously. So the Holy Grail is in itself kind of a farce. You can't ever just be like, okay, I'm going to consciously create everything in a room and manifest that. The pictures on the wall, the books on the shelf, the little tiny objects scattered throughout, all the decor and the colors of the walls, and maintaining all of these things in your head at the same time. You can't really do that, and if you can, you're a superhuman, and you should be studied by scientists. So it's kind of a farce in itself, but the basic idea is that you just can control everything and the people, and you're not seeing really anything that you don't want to see. That's assuming that you don't want to get hung up on decor and that sort of thing. You're getting everything that you want and meeting no resistance in this idea. And another way that this is a farce, even with that, if I created this room, and let's imagine that this is the room I've created, and this door is closed. It's open though, I know it's open, right? The door is closed. It's closed. There is no spoon. Okay, so we'll imagine that the door is closed and you've created this room. In order to get that purest kind of total control, you would have to stop for a moment and manifest what is beyond that door, and then go into it, which isn't impossible. To just make a new dream scene be behind a door, not impossible, not improbable, pretty easy once you get a good handle on lucid dreaming and the understanding of how things work in the dream state. Not impossible. So the thing is though that, again, the little tiny itty bitty little things around the room, the decor, the things like that you'll see are constantly generated by the subconscious, without a conscious effort, and you can't consciously plan all of that again. But if you were to not plan what was behind that door in the scene that you've created, you would walk into something inhabited by your subconscious. Like it's inevitable. It's at every single turn you're going to be met with something that you didn't consciously create. So that's the Holy Grail of lucid dreaming, and it's unattainable. That's within the spectrum of people who say they want to control every aspect of their dream. There are people who say that they achieve this, and I believe that there are people who think they really, really do achieve this, but when you get right down to it, it's not probable. I don't want to say that anything is impossible, but I'm going to say like 9 trillion 999999999 to 1 you did not do it, because it would take an immense amount of focus and control, as previously stated. So that's what people in this category are seeking after, this ultimately unattainable goal. And a lot of the time they're controlling, every aspect of the dream that anyone would hope to control. It's not that hard to control aspects of your dream within reason. But after a while, you see them kind of become very lethargic with it. It's not as engaging as it was before. And this is because you are playing a fixed game. That's what it feels like, because that's what you're doing. If I make a person appear and we're at odds, I can get whatever outcome that I desire, because I'm imposing that on the dream character. I'm imposing that outcome on my dream. So there was never any question as to whether, I'm going to come out on top in whatever struggle that I might manifest. So it's always a fixed game in this way. And it's very one-sided, and this is where I see The few lucid dreamers who stuck with it from that initial stage to get like a certain experience, or because they were curious or what have you, and then they get into this category of control, and a lot of people get stuck there and drop off. And then there are a lot of people who get into lucid dreaming for control, and they love it, and that's exactly what they want, and that's exactly where they want to be, like a movie they've seen a million times, like a game they've played through and gotten every secret to a million times. It never gets old, and I have games like that. Let me tell you, A Link to the Past. But a lot of those lucid dreamers don't make it to the final category, which is lucid dreaming for personal growth. So recapping, it's like, there's like a lot of people wanting to learn how to lucid dream. Like very few of them are gonna stick it out to where they're like established lucid dreamers, and this is, the next step approach, generally speaking. I'm not saying this is you, but this is generally speaking. It's generally speaking in what I see a lot. And then we're seeing even more people from that like tiny group that came over here. Even more people, like half of that group is dropping off, and then half of those people that stayed in it after the half that dropped off, half of those people are happy there. And then there's a smaller portion of those people who are kind of making it to the third ring here, which is lucid dreaming for personal growth, which is where I am happily putting myself about 99% of the time with lucid dreaming. And I'm not saying this is better. I'm not saying it makes anyone better than anyone else. I don't want to be elitist about lucid dreaming. I think that that's something that's discouraging a lot of people from sticking with lucid dreaming, is because people are becoming very elitist about it, and they're kind of not offering help to the newer people, and just kind of pushing off, anyone who says, how do you do this? How, like anyone who wants help, and they're just like, well, we're so elitist, and a lot of those people are in control, sadly. Just observations. But once we get to the third ring, lucid dreaming for personal growth, this is an approach which is much different than the other two. I almost wish that I had experienced like another category in between to better transition it, because it's kind of like night and day. And I'm sure at some point there was a transitional period for me, though I'm not consciously aware of what it is at this moment. But lucid dreaming for personal growth is an approach that is less about getting what I want out of a dream and imposing, my own thoughts and expectations onto the dream, and it's more so like reversing that. So I will enter a lucid dream with the idea of what's going to jump out at me, what's going to grab me consciously in this dream and make itself known to me that I can learn from. So this way it's always new. It's always a new experience. You never know what you're going to get. So whereas with like lucid dreaming for control, you're going to enter a dream setting and be like, oh, what did I want? I'm going to, make this appear, go here, do this. And this is all very good and fine. And when you're doing it for personal growth, the dream experience looks a little more something like starting a dream, scanning your surroundings, looking for something, anything that kind of jumps out. If there's nothing immediately, maybe you'll walk around and you'll see a person, and you'll talk to that person, get the dialogue going. Do they have something to say? If they have something, if they seem competent enough, which a lot of dream characters are just kind of like, I'm the hidden recesses of your subconscious and I don't make any sense really. And you're like, okay, well, we'll see you later, and I'll go talk over to to this guy over here. And then basically you're searching for something that is going to give you some thought, something to think over. It's going to give you some profound message in any way that can transform yourself or your life. And it may not even be like a dream character. It could be anything. really. I mean, it could be an object that sticks out to you, and what's this object? I'll inspect it, and there's suddenly some meaning to this object. You're reminded of something in your past, or it has some sort of symbolism to you personally, or it could be like an atmosphere, a tone to the dream. It could be like a vibe that you're getting from a dream, which I'm reminded of this experience that I had. I wake-induced to a lucid dream in a house, and I was just kind of going around this house, kind of seeing what was there, and I noticed this arched doorway. I may have told this story before. I really like this one because it's the perfect description of vibes in a dream. Vibes, man. So I see this arched doorway, no door on it, and I notice it, and it's in this kind of like shady part of the house, not very well lit, and directly behind the door, so we have this arched doorway, and everything behind it, utter darkness, cannot see anything, it's just total darkness, and I feel a little uncomfortable looking at it, and I make my way closer to it, and the closer that I get to it, the more afraid I feel. And I'm someone, I don't have nightmares, really. I'll have like one nightmare maybe every 5 years. I've had very few nightmares in my life, and that was even before lucid dreaming. Just lucky, I guess. But the closer I get to that arched doorway, the more overcome with fear I felt. I couldn't handle it, and eventually I managed to make it into the doorway. I'm standing in complete darkness by this point, and I just cannot do it. I am completely overcome with fear. I don't know what to do, so I just book it out. And this is the perfect example of a missed opportunity with lucid dreaming for personal growth. What would have happened if I had just run into this arched doorway head on and not stopped? What experience would I have gotten from that? And that was really the first turning point for me for lucid dreaming, in a profound way. Because before I was just like lucid dreaming to control and do whatever I wanted, see what was out there to it, and I was doing quite well in the realm of control and feeling established in that, right? And then to have this experience that I just looked back on like, I really missed something here. That was a prime opportunity to explore myself deeper and learn something about myself, and because of where I'd been focusing my energies in lucid dreaming, I chose not to have an experience that could have like shaken me to my core and made me realize something big about myself, about my life. It could have unearthed a problem that I've been dealing with that may be causing depression or anxiety or any number of things in my life that I could have put a face to and interacted with and overcome. But instead, I chose not to do it. So that was the big turning point for me, and that's the big idea behind lucid dreaming for personal growth. It's learning about yourself. It's learning from the dream. It's not feeling that you need to impose something onto the dream. There are a lot of experiences that I've had that are just me going throughout the dream, and my subconscious just brings something right in my face, just out of the blue, surprise. I've gotten startled from things in dreams before, just waiting for something to happen. And that's not to say that you even have to wait for something to happen. You can speak directly to your subconscious and receive answers, often in your own voice. It's kind of creepy, in a good way. Meditation is a wonderful tool to use for personal growth, lucid dreaming. I say a lot that, if you can just barely meditate for 5 to 10 minutes in waking life, if you are a novice by day, then by night you are a friggin' Buddhist monk. In that you will, if you can just lucid dream for if you can just meditate for 5 to 10 minutes in waking life, if you can do that little amount of meditation, if you know how to do that, then you do a meditation in lucid dream. I'm suggesting open eye meditation, because closed eye can be a little funky and kind of take the dream and do all kinds of things that don't do a whole lot, but have potential to do really great things. But open eye meditation is great because it's easier to maintain focus. Just the amount of earth-shattering experiences I've had from that, and the first one being in one of my previous videos, I talked about meeting myself in a lucid dream and certain aspects of myself that I, became at peace with, and I think I'll link that here, there, everywhere, down there. Probably just down there. I probably won't even do it. I'm probably gonna be too lazy. Excuse me. Man, I'm really tired. So that's the approach that I take, and that's the approach that I would like to see a lot more people taking to lucid dreaming. And I think that this is really the future of lucid dreaming for personal growth. And that, again, that's not to say that we should not also get cookies out of these jars out of control and out of kind of just whatever, but let's try to make ourselves more well-rounded in the realm of lucid dreaming. Let's learn control. Let's get wish fulfillment out of it. And let's also get the profound personal growth that we can get from it. There's nothing wrong with any of these things. If you were to vary them, it makes it all the more interesting, and it really opens everything up for you and all the possibilities to lucid dreaming. Because again, I see like tons and tons of people want to learn how to lucid dream, but right from the start, the way they're introduced to lucid dreaming, 9 times out of 10, if you were to go on Google right now and search how to lucid dream, you're going to find 5 to 10 articles easy, probably on the first page, that are all articles that are like, you click on it and it's like, how to learn how to lucid dream, how to learn how to lucid dream, how to learn to lucid dream, and it's like, have you ever wanted to fly in your lucid dreams? Have you ever wanted to fly or have experiences with people of sexual relations and natures? Then try lucid dreaming. And so it's like I'm sorry guys, I've been up for so very long. A lot of the articles you're going to find on there are going to be people introducing new people to lucid dreaming, which is great, but introducing them to lucid dreaming in a way that suggests that this is all it's for. So here is lucid dreaming. I am handing lucid dreaming to you, and with lucid dreaming you can fly, and you can, have sex with people, and you can explode buildings and shoot terrorists and whatever you want to do. That's lucid dreaming. That's what you can do with it. Instead of, I'm going to hand you lucid dreaming, and this is a tool that you can use to better yourself and better your life. It is a hobby that you have while you're asleep, and it's something that leaks onto your waking life that will fundamentally change you as a person for the better and help you to take better action in your life and feel like more of a self-affirmed person. So those are the differences. I wish that I could see a lot more people saying the latter rather than the former in these sort of articles, because it's just like right from the start they're getting this mindset that I'm going to lucid dream and this is all it is, and no one tells them that there is so much more to lucid dreaming. And that's kind of something that I'm making my mission now. I think I'm pretty deep into it. Trying to get more people to realize the bigger aspects to lucid dreaming that the main lucid dreaming community hasn't quite latched onto yet. More people wanting to lucid dream, that's great. More people sticking with lucid dreaming, even better. But even in the places where people talk about lucid dreaming most on the internet, all I see are people just talking about control. And the very few people who do speak out and kind of say there's a little bit more to it than this, lucid dreaming for personal growth, it's always kind of shot down, and people are afraid of it in a way. And it's very interesting that you want to be able to be conscious in your dreams but not interact with your subconscious and not learn about yourself in a way that can improve things, improve your situation. Pretty interesting, but not good. And it's changing. You know, gradually more people are coming to the surface now who are lucid dreaming for personal growth, and I'm interacting with those people more, and it's good to see them start to rise up a little bit, but we need more people focusing on personal growth. Now again, none of these things are bad. All I'm saying is that we need to make ourselves more well-rounded in the realm of lucid dreaming, so that one, the people who want to learn to do it stick with it, and this becomes like a bigger thing that can help a lot of people. Like lucid dreaming can help people. It helped me overcome depression. I am no longer hanging nooses in my garage. I feel like I've come out of my shell. I'm a person who you could not get 2 words out of just a few years ago before I started lucid dreaming. I could go on and on and on about all of the things that I've been helped with lucid dreaming, and there are tons of people out there who have been helped by lucid dreaming. And I believe that this is a very powerful tool that we have innately as human beings, that there needs to be more focus on it. It needs to be brought to the attention of a lot of people, because I do view it as some sort of self-psychology. You can do a lot of good on your own if you need to, or this could be something in the future where maybe a professional knows how to help you use lucid dreaming to better your specific situation as a form of medicine, which is what I see this as in the future. And I was recently emailing Robert Wagner, because I'm writing my book, and I just wanted to reach out and ask for any advice that he might have or anything like that, as someone who wants to, you know, go out there and publish this book and try to build a life on lucid dreaming and to help other people. And he too said that he wanted this to kind of explode like meditation did in the 60s, and the Beatles made it big. 60s, 70s, I'm not good with history and geography and dates and times. But he too said that he wanted it to kind of explode and be brought forward into the consciousness of Western society to help more people, like meditation did back then. And that's truly the next step. That is what we need to be focusing on if we want to see this thing really explode into what it could be. And I think it's going to take a lot more effort, and I think it's going to take a lot less elitism. Not that I see a whole lot of it that much recently, but every now and then, just the people who get so hung up on their own aspect of lucid dreaming that they can't help out someone new, or just become very staunch in their opinion of lucid dreaming, because it's not a subject where one can afford the luxury of being so staunch about it. It's something we're dabbling in areas of the mind that we fully don't even understand yet scientifically. You know, I don't know. I'm rambling and I'm very tired, and I hope in some way that I can make this video somewhat useful for some of you guys. Thanks for sticking it out for 30 minutes. If nothing else, it'll probably be enjoyable for you guys to see me just loopy as shit, because I rarely am. So I think that's it. Oh, one more thing I want to mention, and try to see if I can get it under this minute. I can't. I absolutely cannot. You know that I cannot be not long-winded. I created a subreddit for experienced lucid dreamers, not as an elitist act. How dare you? Read the sidebar, sir. I created a subreddit for experienced lucid dreamers so that we could further refine our craft. Isn't this real life? So that we could all kind of interact with each other. Lucid dreamers who have been doing it for a year or more are welcome to post. All you have to do is get on Reddit. I've actually put a link to that on my main channel, which should be like right up in the banner, and I think I'll probably put it in the link below. How many promises am I making for links in this? But this subreddit is not as an elitist act, rather quite the opposite. It's called Experienced Lucid Dreamers, or actually it's called EXP Lucid Dreamers. EXP Lucid Dreamers. And it is for the experienced lucid dreamers, who have been lucid dreaming consistently for a year or more. But anyone can subscribe to it, and just those who ask for permission to post, and those who, those who ask for permission to post who have been lucid dreaming for a year or more are welcome to post. All you have to do is personal message me, read the sidebar, all that shit. But it's actually created because I wanted to get us all in like this one little area so that we could all kind of talk to each other and learn even more from each other to take lucid dreaming even further. And you weren't getting a lot of advanced discussion in the main lucid dreaming subreddit. So I know there are a lot of people who from time to time would speak out a little bit and say that, you know, they just kind of get tired of the same, how do you do this, is this a lucid dream, posts in lucid dreaming subreddit, the main one, and they wish that there would be a little more advanced discussion, because a lot of the times when you bring up advanced topics there, they kind of get pushed to the bottom with all of the new ones coming in on how do I do this, what is this, etc. So I thought it would be good to get a lot of those guys over there as well, and hopefully recharge their batteries enough from talking about lucid dreaming again, and something that will hopefully again engage those people in lucid dreaming again, so that they can then go back into the main lucid dreaming subreddit and have that fuel that they need to help all of the new people starting out. So that's really what it's about, is just kind of reinvigorating people who have been lucid dreaming for a long time about lucid dreaming, and just really getting them to further their craft, and then hopefully encourage them to help others perfect their craft, so that we can get more people in here and just expand the group exponentially, so that more people can be lucid dreaming for the reasons previously stated. I'm sorry that I have made this so long and that I am so tired. Thanks for watching. I'm Spacetime Badass.